So I want to do an exercise and I want to ask you guys, and you can spend about 2 minutes, and then whoever's brave, you can stand up and speak to me or speak to everyone. What do you think you've been calling fear, which really is anxiety? So spend 1 or 2 minutes having a conversation with yourself and then, or with each other, should I say? Not about gorillas, but having a conversation with each other, and then let me know what you guys think. Sound good? Good. So I'll give you about 2 minutes.
2 minutes later.
Okay. Is everyone ready? Do we have any brave people that are willing to stand up and just share? And listen, we're all students, including myself, so I'm always keen to share and hear what you guys have to say. So anyone want to start first? What have you been calling fear, which is actually just anxiety? Anyone? No one want to start? Nice. Give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. Okay.
So I would say my anxiety is to speak in public.
Okay.
I don't know what is the outcome of that. There's not a possible guaranteed outcome. Of
Yeah.
But I'm afraid of that.
Okay.
So that is almost guaranteed.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
So I would say the percentage different. So I would say anxiety, 50% of me to feel, 50% I was stuck by my brain in random point that people would make fun of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Negative outcome.
Yeah.
But fear is like almost 100% a negative outcome, for example.
Well, give a round of applause for being the first one. Do you study anything mathematical by any chance?
I'm studying part 1/3 of the
Sorry? You're studying what, sorry?
I'm studying PPE.
Oh, PPE. No, just because you said calculus, I thought you sounded like a math student. But no, give her a round of applause. Anyone else that wants to explain? Do you want, perhaps, I heard you discussing anything that's you've labeled as fear, but it's actually just anxiety?
If I'm going in the right direction.
Sorry?
I don't know if I'm going in the right direction.
Okay, that's fair. So you're unsure about the outcome, right? And you don't know. Okay, great.
So it might just be the way that I frame it, that fear is unconfidence in something else happening, something outside of your control.
Amazing.
Whereas anxiety, given it's perpetual in nature, is a lack of confidence in yourself to deliver that second.
Okay, cool.
The way that I see it.
Okay, so you're thinking about it as fear is something that you can't control and anxiety is something within lack of confidence in yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Fair enough. No, really good. You guys are a good crowd. I like it. Thank you very much. Okay. One of the reasons why we experience fear is procrastination. And procrastination, simply put, is just a behavior we exhibit when we are unsure about an outcome we desire. So we procrastinate because our brain actually pushes us away from pain, or what it perceives as pain, towards pleasure. And this is when we have more fear than faith. So it's important to understand what procrastination is. And we often procrastinate because of what psychologists call the law of secondary gain. And the law of secondary gain is the idea that you are getting some sort of benefit or advantage by not taking the action. So it's exam season, right? You're all studying for your exams, you're very focused, and perhaps you need to read a book. You need to read a book and you need to maybe read 10 pages. You might avoid doing it or procrastinate because you're not sure about the outcome, but also you feel safe in not taking the action. Because our body takes us away from pain and it puts us towards pleasure, and it avoids us from feeling ashamed, embarrassed, ridiculed, or judged. So it's so important to understand this, and that's why I put procrastination is the assassination of your dreams, and it's important to take action now. The truth about procrastination, you're not actually lazy, you're just protecting yourself. Procrastination is just a protective mechanism that stops you doing something that your brain perceives as pain. It's a lot more easier to go on Netflix or go on social media than read 10 more pages. It's a lot more easy to go and watch something on TV then do something like this. Why? Because you've done it so many times before, you actually can play in your head and you know what the outcome is. Whereas when you're starting a business, especially when you haven't seen that sort of success before, and as you said, you don't have the pathway, that's where you procrastinate and that's where you don't take any action. But fortunately for you guys, I've got what I like to call the 3-step pattern breaker. The first step is to recognize, the second step is to interrupt, and the third step is to rewire. I want you to go with me. The first step is what? Recognize. The second step is what? Interrupt. The third step is what? Rewire. Round of applause. You're a good crowd. I know the pizza's settled and you're a bit tired, but just stay with me. There's a lot of value to come. Okay, I want you to spend another 2 minutes and just think maybe in the last 2-3 days max, what you procrastinated on and why. Just 2 minutes, please, and then we'll get to it. So 2 minutes between yourself.
2 minutes later.
Okay, guys. Okay, anyone brave enough to tell us what have they been procrastinating on? Anyone? Nice. Essay. How long, how many words is it?
It's only 2,000 words.
Okay.
I feel like because well, I can recognize the pattern that I can get it done in like 2 days.
Okay.
I feel like the marginal gain of like starting it early and doing it last minute isn't that much, and that's why I always leave it to the end.
Okay. So you like the pressure of knowing that there's a deadline, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you keep it later on. Okay.
I perform better towards the deadline instead of early.
Okay. You're a perfect candidate for investment banking. Give me a round of applause. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else?
I mean, similar here.
Yep.
I've been procrastinating on income tax.
On what, sorry?
On income tax.
Okay.
So I can lock in for hours, do my stuff, and then I decide to have a little break for it. And a little break escalates to like 2, 3, maybe 4 hours of break. But I do wish to go back to work, right? But it's not efficient anymore. And I'm like, okay, let me go sleep earlier this time. And I don't sleep. I scroll through the different level of procrastination.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys get the idea, right? And that's very, very important. But that's why I said it's very important to recognize. I want you guys to start taking mental inventory of your actions. Whenever you find yourself procrastinating, don't just let it pass away. Think of, why did I procrastinate? Reverse engineer and know how you got there. Because once you know how you get there, you're able to solve it, okay? And there's one quote that Les Brown said, which really sticks with me. It says that you can't see the picture when you're in a frame. Has anyone been that person where your friend tells you there's something on your face and you're just like, where is it on my face? Yeah, anyone? Is it just me? Great, all of us, right? And that's because you're not aware of that thing. So you might be going throughout university, saying hi to everyone, not knowing that you've got some food or some pizza on your face. That's why it's so important to recognize the pattern, okay? So after you recognize the pattern, I want you to start to rewire the pattern. What do I mean by rewire? Well, there's something called contrasting frames. And contrasting frames is when you assign a cost to procrastinating. Because the benefit sometimes to you in procrastination is that you feel safe. You don't have to take action. You seek comfort. You won't be ridiculed, embarrassed, or judged. But when you start to use contrasting frames, you think more long-term and you say, how would me not taking this action impact my self-esteem, my income, my relationship? So whenever you find yourself not doing your essay or not starting your business, start to think more long-term and create a contrasting frame and say, okay, I feel okay now. It's not really impacting me now, but later down the line, it's going to cost me.